Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Quadroom. In today's lesson we are going to learn how to build a simple bank management system using C++ as the programming language and Visual Studio 2019 as my code editor. So to write a new project right from the scratch, we have to click on this create new project. And this is a create new project window where you can select the type of language which you are going to use. In this case I'm going to select C++, and this is also for the platforms. These are the list of all the platforms, so because I'm using Windows 10, so I have to select Windows, and these are all the project type. So I'm going to select console. So just click on this console app, then click on this next button. As you can see, this is where you can configure your new project, and it has to provide a name. That is, you have to provide a name for your project and also the location where you are going to save your project files. So in my case, I'm going to name it bank management system. So for the location, I'm going to select desktop, BS project, console project. So I have to click a new folder. Let me call it VMS. So just click on this select folder and hit on create button. As you can see, it is creating the project. So it is taking a while, and it brings us to the text editor where we are going to write all our codes. So I don't need this comment, I can delete it. Likewise also this one. As you can see, this is one of the C++ header files, which is IO string, and it stands for input output string. So I'm going to include another header for this project. Include CSTDIO. It's also very important to this project. As I told you, I'm going to create a simple bank management system. So I have to create a class for this project. So let me call it an account. So class account. So here I'm going to declare some private data member, that is the variables that I'm going to use in this project. So I have to declare them as private. So int account number. This is one of the private data member which is of integer type, that is account number, and this account number is going to generate automatically 10 digits account number, where the first 2 digits stand for the bank code and the remaining 8 digits serve as the customer account number. I'm also going to declare another variable long int amount, and this amount stands for the initial balance for the bank account or the balance of the account. I'm also going to declare another variables, and this will be of string type, so string account type, so I'm seeing it says identifier string is undefined because I didn't call the standard library. So let me using the name space std. As you can see, the error has gone and it says no issues found. So, and this account type is the type of account that the user is going to input, that is going to select either it is current, saving, or fixed account. So I'm also going to declare another variable which serve as an object for the account type, and it is also for the class of strings. So account type so which is equals to, and this can either be saving, current, or fixed. Saving, current, fixed. I'm also going to declare another variables which is going to store the first name of customer, so, and it's also a class string fname which stands for the first name, and also string lname which stands for the last name. So since they are of the same type, so you can also define it or declare it on one line since they are of the same data type. So last name, as you can see, no issues found. So I'm also going to declare another variable of static data type int, temp. And this temp variable is going to hold account number. So I'm also going to define a public member function which is going to check the type, or which is going to check the account type. And check type. I'm going to use a for loop for these functions. to 0, I is less than 8, I plus plus. So if account type is equals to account type the system will return no error, otherwise the system will return an error. That means if your user selects an account which is one of these, then it will allow him to go on with the process, that is opening the account. Otherwise, if the user chooses any other account type which is not listed here, so it's going to return an error to the customer. So I'm also going to define another public member function which is going to check the initial balance intact, is it valid or not. So int check initial balance so if amount is less than 0, return an error. Otherwise, the system will return no error. So that means this function is going to check the initial balance intact while opening the accounts. If it is less than 0, that means the initial balance cannot be negative, and in this case, if it is negative, then it is going to return an error, while if it is not negative, that is if it is positive, then the system will allow the user to go on with the account opening. So that is the work of this function. I'm also now going to define the main program functions, which is going to accept the account informations from the user. So I'm going to void set data So now I'm going to define the account owner first name using the cout command, which is console output. So it says enter account owner first name. I'm also going to use the cin command, which will allow the customer to input his first name. So first name cout, enter account owner, last name. So I'm going to use the cin command also, last name. And the customer is going to select the type of account which is going to open. So cout, say enter account type, also I'm going to use the cin command, arc type. So I'm also going to use this command again to allow the enter to deposit his first amount, that is initial balance. So enter account opening amount. So in this case it will be the initial balance. Then cin amount. So amount. So as you can see, these functions, they accept the account information from the user. So now I'm going to use the while loop to check this account type, whether it is correct or not. So while is check type, that means if the customer did not enter the correct account type, then it will reply or it will print an error message to the customer that's invalid account type. Enter again. So that means the system will allow the user to continuously type the account type until it is valid. So likewise, I'm also going to check this initial balance entered, is it correct or not, or is it valid or not, using the while loop again. So while check initial balance, that is, the system finds out that the user or the customer entered some amount which is not valid, then it will print an error message on the screen telling the user or the customer that this is invalid or the initial balance cannot be negative. So see out says account opening amount cannot be negative, so it says enter again. See amount. So now I'm going to initialize this temp variable outside this class. So int account temp equals to where the first two digits serve as the customer or serve as the bank code, and the remaining 8 digits stand for the customer account number. So now inside the main function, I'm going to define the object for this class. So let me call it account object. I'm also going to use an integer variables for the switch case, which I'm going to use later. So I'm also going to define another variable which is of float type, float amount. So now I'm going to also define another public member function which is going to display the account information for that customer. So void display account info. This function is going to display the account's information for that particular customer. So see out accounts owner name, which is account owner name, is equals to firstname. I'm going to use the concatenating operator. So that is, I'm joining these two variables, that is first name and the last name. So here I'm going to join it using the concatenating operator, that is this. So I'm also going to write a record, or which is going to print the account number, I'm also going to use this console output to display the account type of that customer. Also, this function will print or display the initial balance deposited by the customer. So accounts initial balance, accounts opening amount, initial so now I'm going to use a do while loop to iterate some part of this program. As you know, the do while loop executes the statement inside the do before evaluating the condition inside the while. So that means at least even if it is once, the statement is going to be executed before the condition is evaluated. So let me write the do. So see out, let me print the header. So now, as you can see, this is the banking operations. Also, this is where I'm going to write all the statements. So see out, the first operation, which is deposit amount, see out, the second operation, which is withdraw amount, and the third operation, which is display account info. And the last is to exit from the application. So while this choice is not equals to 4, so now I'm going to press this public number function void deposit. So see out. But before then, as you know that the deposit is an addition operation. That means if a user deposits some amount into his account, that amount is going to be added to the previous balance the customer have in his account. So I'm going to define these variables, which is float type. So I'm going to write amount is equals to amount plus amount. That means this is the initial balance, and while this is the recent or the added amount by the customer. So now the total balance is going to be the initial balance plus the current added amount. So let me display this line of code will display how much amount is being deposited to customer account. So see out, and this is the previous balance. So the previous balance before depositing this current amount is equals to amount minus the added amount. And this line of code will also display the current balance after adding that amount, so which is equals to the total balance customer has in his account. I'm also going to define another function which will display the withdrawals operation. So void withdraw, and it's also a float amount. So this function will display the operation withdrawal operations done by the user, that is C out, I should say amount is equals to amount minus amount. Since it is withdrawal operation, it has to be minus. So C out can say has been deducted from your account. So on this function is also, or this line of code is going to display how much amount is being deducted from your account or from customer account. So C out, so previous balance before deducting this amount was amount plus amount. That means before withdrawing this amount, our account balance is this amount, that is initial amount plus the added amount before withdrawing this amount. So now let me display the current balance customer has. So this will display the current balance which remains in the customer account. So now I'm going to use the switch case to evaluate my operations. So switch as you can see, this is a switch on variable. So switch on, which is this in CH. This is the one I'm going to use here. So this is my switch on variables. I'm going to write the cases. So case 1, let me print out C out say enter amount to deposit. I'm going to use a cin command to allow the user to deposit some amount to his account. So amount. I'm also going to use this account object to call this deposit function. So object dot deposit so break also for the next case. I'm going to use this object again to call this deposit function or withdrawal function, sorry. So for the case 2, say C out, say enter withdrawal amount. So I'm going to use the cin to enter the withdrawal amount. I'm also going to use this object, account object dot withdraw this amount. Break. So for the case 3, I'm going to use this account object to call this display account info. So let me say object dot display account info. I'm also going to use the break. So while the CH is not equal to option 4, that means if a customer or the user selects an option which is not option 1, option 2, option 3 or option 4, for example, if a user enters number like 5, so the operation is not going to run successfully and it will display an error message because the user has to select one of these options. So let me write a code which will allow the customer or the user to select an option from these 4. C out, say please select an option from above for an operation. So let me use a cin command. So now I'm going to use this object again to call the function which accepts the account info. So what the heck is this? Long. As you can see, it says no issues found. So now let me allow this program to return no error if the program runs successfully. So long, this is how it is. So as you can see, there is no error, it says no issues found. So let's try to run our program by clicking on this local window debugger. So the account owner first name, account owner last name, account type. Let me enter account type, which is not among the listed account type. Let me enter like recurring. Let me enter the initial balance 3,000. It says invalid account type. Enter again because recurring is not one of the listed account types, so it has to be either saving account or current account or fixed account. So let me enter like current for this case, and it says banking operations, so that means current is a valid account type. So it says please select an option from above for an operation, such as for this banking operation you have to either select option 1 for the deposit amount, or option 2 for the withdrawal, or option 3 in order to display the account owner information, or option 4 to exit the app. So let me option 1, and it says enter amount to deposit. So let me enter like 12,000, and it says 12,000 has been deposited to your account. Previous balance before depositing this 12,000 was 3,000 as my initial balance, as you can see. Now after adding this 12,000, the current balance is 15,000. So, and this has to be like this. And let me enter another option like option 2 for the withdrawal. So it say enter withdrawal amount. Let me withdraw like 5,000, and it says 5,000 has been deducted from your account. Previous balance is 15,000 before withdrawing. After the withdrawal, now the current balance is 10,000. So let me enter like option 3. Option 3, which is going to display the account information. As you can see, the account owner name is Muhammad Ilyasu. The account number is 2094967296, and this is automatically being generated. Account type is current, and account opening amount, which is 10,000. But I have to correct this instead of account opening amount, so let me just test it at account balance, and this has to be corrected also. 5,000 and has been matched together, so I have to separate to give the space. So come here, this is this should be, instead of accounts, this should be account balance. Account balance. So let me run the program again, and it says account owner first name. Let me use another name, Musa. Account owner last name, yes. Account type, saving. Let me enter like fix. In this case, says enter account opening amount, so let me enter like 50,000, and say banking operation, so let me enter or choose option 1. Says enter amount to deposit, so let me enter like 100,000, and it says 100,000 has been deposited to your account. Previous balance is 50,000 and the current balance is 150,000. So that means 50,000 plus 100,000 is equals to 150,000, and this is correct. Let me enter another option for withdrawal. It says enter withdrawal amount, so let me withdraw like 90,000. And it says 90,000 has been deducted from your account. Previous balance is 150,000, and the current balance after withdrawing 90,000 is equals to 60,000. So let me enter option 3 to display the account info, and it says account owner name Musa Eliasu, account number, an account type, which is fixed, and the account balance, which is 60,000. So as you can see, this is the end of our programs. Please, if you really find this video helpful, give it a thumb up and click on the red subscribe button for more amazing videos. Thank you once again, till I see you in my next video. Thank you.